moodkillersmerch.com. Make all of your purchases, and right now get 20% off on everything in the Mood Killers merch store. Hats, t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, bibs. That's right. Throw pillows. We have stickers, adjustable aprons. A fanny pack. There's so many things. Of course, we have coffee mugs and tote bags and so much more. Check out moodkillersmerch.com and support the show today.
Look, I made you some content. Daddy made you your favorite open wide. Here comes the content. It's a beautiful day to stay inside.
Greetings, Mood Killers, Eddie and Marconi. I believe that you snore, correct? If I remember right, I believe.
Well,
that
the
you've
last
said
time
this
we
before
slept
on
in the
show.
same bed, do you remember?
Right.
That you
bunk
couldn't.
beds, and you demanded the top bunk.
That's right.
As always.
Yeah. There's so much more room. You really had a lot of room for activities in the room, So I thought, bunk beds.
Activities and bunk beds, but I snore. I'm a snorer, and I think you do too. So I don't know if this would actually help or not, but they say that eating a plant-based diet makes you snore less. I don't know if I don't know how that works.
Listen,
exactly. But
here's what I know about, plant-based is it's not like that I'm against people eating plant-based, and I don't care what anybody does, whatever they do. But this is just something in particular. I follow Mike Dolce, my guru. And he talks about plant-based.
Yeah.
And he said say for instance, because he's an MMA trainer, right? There's a lot of plant-based MMA fighters. And they notice over time through their statistics that usually the fighters that switch to plant-based diets are less, their record goes down and they lose a lot more. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with anything at all. If maybe their age or maybe they're just, they were at their peak at one point and now they're not. But I also feel like your energy can be affected maybe. And I think you got to have a balance too. If you're going to be carnivorous, you probably need to have a balance.
Sure. Have meat a couple times a week or something, and then maybe go easy on the meat the rest of the week.
Or even if you're going to eat meat, eat less red and more like chicken and stuff like that. And not chicken that's
salmon, chicken and fish. Yeah.
Not chicken that's buried in salt and seasoning. Unfortunately, the seasoning is part of the problem because you're getting way too much, salt.
How do you cook chicken in a healthy way then if you don't put seasoning on it? And then how do you eat it with it being something that's edible? Like delicious. How do you make it delicious? What's your recipe over there?
Sometimes
share it with us. Let's do a recipe segment where we just exchange recipes.
There's a lot of different no sodium seasonings that I've used.
Oh, okay. I see.
I don't really like them.
Those are pretty good.
I don't like them as much, but they say your pancreas has a problem. Most of the time, people end up with pancreas issues, and sometimes even worse than just issues. Life-ending things with the pancreas because of their high sodium diets and their, high dairy diets and eating too much red meat and stuff like that. So I always think, chicken and fish is probably a better way to go if you can more. And then occasionally treat yourself if you want a steak or whatever it is. And there are benefits to eating red meat, but I'm no expert, believe me. But I just know what I go by.
Well, we'll pretend like we're experts here. And we'll
That's right.
Pretend like we know everything. So
that's right.
If you speak with enough authority, it sounds like you know what you're talking about.
That's right. That's what's really important.
Basically what we're proving here. Yeah.
I'm not asleep. My mind is alive.
Have you played pickleball yet? I was thinking about trying to play pickleball. I don't know why.
I just asked ALEXA who invented pickleball recently.
John Pickle.
And that's something like that. It was him and another guy in the 60s or something like that. And then
it's been around that long.
And it explained what pickleball was. And it said it's a combination of tennis, badminton, and wiffle ball. because they use a wiffle ball.
Okay.
And
Right. And
wanna-
it seems to be like an accessible type of sport because people of all ages are playing it.
oh, really?
So,
It always seems like
yeah.
uptight whites that are playing are really into it.
oh yeah.
Like, whoa,
I mean,
whoa,
people of all ages who are white. Yes.
Hey, it's one of those. It's one of those
Yeah.
activities you can drink with. So people
that
get
what it
really, people get really nuts about it, and they've got like teams and leagues. And
I didn't realize it was a drinking sport.
Of
I
course,
did not realize that. It is okay. I guess maybe that explains this because pickleball injuries have increased 90-fold over the last 20 years, with most
Oh.
injuries occurring in adults 60 to 69. But a lot of serious injuries for pickleball players. We're talking rotator cuff injuries,
Jeez.
worsening of arthritis, Achilles tendon tears. Can you imagine tearing your Achilles playing pickleball?
People need to calm down.
Oh.
I mean, like I know it's a fun activity, but you're gonna tear your Achilles with a for what?
For
the
what?
record
Yeah.
of the pickleball? Nobody cares, man. Nobody.
I'm looking at photos of pickleball right now, and
I really
yeah,
can't believe.
I mean,
I can't believe they
yeah.
haven't covered it on Larry David on Curb Your Enthusiasm yet, because
oh, there's
it
still
feel-
time.
it feels like maybe this season. I mean, maybe I'm not caught up yet. Maybe they've already covered it and I didn't know. But
Yeah.
I think like it seems laughable. But it's because it is. I mean, let's be honest, it is fun, but people are so over into it that it kind of ruins it for me a little bit. Like I don't want to be into it because it's like too popular, and I'm not trying to be like, anti or anything like that. I'm just like, okay, we get it. You love pickleball. It's sort of like everybody talking about Bitcoin, and suddenly now it's like, well, last night at pickleball, we did this. We got this team, and our pickleball name is, the Picklers, and it's just like that that toothy, preppy guy talk. And you're like, okay, that's
So
your
you're
fun.
saying that this weekend you don't want to hang out with me? I thought we could maybe fill our Stanley cups up with some White Claw and go hit the pickleball court. No,
no, thanks.
not one, but 4 biopics are going to be released.
Oh,
in
that's
2027.
wonderful. I'm thrilled.
Wow,
There's going
great.
to be a John, Paul, George, and Ringo. 4 separate
Oh no,
Beatles
yeah.
biopics. Come on.
I feel like I've seen
I've
everything
had it.
Beatles now, and that new song, everybody was real excited. You see how everybody got excited for an AI Beatles song? I was like, okay. And by the way,
And this is kind of the official Beatles biopic project. It's being done by the Beatles
Yoko.
company, Apple Corps.
yeah,
And Lennon and Harrison, they granted their life story and musical rights to this for the first time.
is it going
That's
to be
too
like
many,
one
though.
of the?
4 Beatles movies in the same
like,
year?
They're probably like 9 hours each, like that,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that documentary, which was interesting. But the thing is, like with that song, when you think about like how it was so overhyped and it was on social media everywhere.
Terrible
We're-
song.
it's-
That
it's
last
only a-
Beatles song. I'm sorry.
We're only a few months away. I don't even remember the song at all. Nobody's talking
was
about
bad.
it at all. But everybody
to
at
me
the
that
time
was just like what a rich white guy wanted to do, because Peter Jackson,
Yep.
the director, he did
Yep.
the documentary, and then he's like, oh, I got some AI technology, I want to make me a Beatles song
Yeah.
so I can impress everybody at my country club.
that I figured out some technology that I could make John Lennon's rough tracks sound like they were studio quality, and here we go. Okay.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
sometimes people just need to leave stuff alone. Like we didn't need another Beatles song. Nobody needed
And
it.
we don't need. I'm sorry, we don't need 4 Beatles biopics in one
No.
year. Why not just do one about the whole band? Now I have to go schlep myself to the theater 4 times.
So it's not even going to be on a streaming service. You got to go to a theater to see these movies. Oh God.
oh yeah,
Well,
And that's too many in one
who
year.
do they think are
4
going to
movies in
theaters?
1 year.
I mean, we were just talking about this the other day. The theaters are like the dirtier than your toilet. And now we're supposed to go to 4 different Beatles movies. I don't even want to go to good movies, let alone a crappy Beatles movie that nobody's going to watch. Come on.
What's the release schedule going to be like? One every weekend? I have to set an appointment to go sit in a dark
Yeah.
movie theater filled with bacteria everywhere and crying babies and people sneezing in the back of my head. No.
I think I'd rather be forced to watch Madam Web than go to one of these Beatles movies. You know what I mean? I hear it's bad. It can't be worse than
Right.
one of these Beatles movies. But the old Beatles fans are going to be like, yeah, it was so good. I didn't know. I want to I'll watch it if it's on one of the streaming apps that I already subscribe to. But I'm not going to a theater to see this. That's like,
No, thanks.
that's home theater type stuff. That's not like I need to see it on the big screen type stuff. Come on.
Four is a big commitment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, one is enough already. But 4?
Exactly.
No thanks.
Yeah.
Well, Eddie, I love collecting your data, and I know you love giving it over for free, even though I'm making lots of money
You and
off
Mark
of this.
Zuckerberg. Take it all.
Yeah, so I've teamed with Mark Zuckerberg, and I thought I'd ask you a few questions and see what your answers are, and we'll write them down. And, you don't need to know what we're going to be doing with them, but maybe we're building a robot Eddie Barella. I don't know.
Well, let me see if I can't help you serve me some advertisements.
All right, here we go. All right,
Yeah.
Eddie, which emotion plays a big part in your personality?
Probably is sarcasm an emotion? I'm going to say it.
It should be.
It
I
should
mean,
be.
Do you think are you an angry person under the surface? Because you're so calm and
Under the
relaxed.
surface, and
kind.
am I an angry person under the surface? I'm an annoyed person under the surface. I get annoyed with different situations in life
Yeah.
that are consuming that I do not want any part of, but I'm forced to be part of.
Are you,
And
are
I
you
know I'm
talking about this
speaking
show?
cryptically.
You're not talking about this show, are you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the main emotion that I'm feeling lately, and I feel like that's consuming me. Is that me in general? I don't know because I've been, entrenched
saying-
in a situation that.
Are
has
you
been
saying you don't know who
very,
you are anymore? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, yeah, I mean, like I've been dealing with something that is so, that encompasses my entire day-to-day life in ways that I
Oh.
never would want.
Let me help you
Yeah.
out. It's
Yeah.
this liquid called Mylanta, and it helps you with
That's
all
right,
kinds of.
Mylanta.
It's heartburn and things like
Right.
Tums. That also works.
Right.
So and then all
Now,
that'll go away. You
if
don't
I'm,
have to worry about it.
If I'm microdosing shrooms, I'm very happy.
Oh, wait, what? What is it? Wait, was that a clip or was that real? I don't know. All right,
I don't know.
here's another
Yeah.
question. We're collecting Eddie's data. And here's another one. What has been the best decision in your life so far?
The best decision in my life so far has probably been stealing my girlfriend's dog, my ex-girlfriend's dog. Yeah. from her. I stole
Wow.
her dog.
You stole
That's
her
right.
dog.
Well,
Wait, hold on a second. So Hugo is not really yours? It's your girlfriend's, ex-girlfriend?
now I didn't steal him per se, but I kind of did it with kindness and by bonding with the dog. Well, actually, the dog bonded with me too. So the best decision, I guess I could back it up a little bit and say that relationship was the best decision because I ended up with my dog.
Oh,
So why don't I phrase it like that?
Wonderful.
that's sweet.
I'll be less of a maniac and say it that way.
All right. Here's another one.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is your go-to song that gets the whole bar singing and laughing when you're doing karaoke?
Oh, geez. I don't do karaoke. I'm not a karaoke guy. I've only done karaoke maybe once or twice in my life. And the first time it was a duet to Man in the Box by Alice in Chains. So it was me and another person.
Wow.
That did not get the bar going because it was a cowboy bar and they looked at us very odd.
Oh,
And that was the point though, is to freak these cowboys out with a
Yeah.
weird grungy song. And it worked.
Yeah.
That was actually a lot of fun.
so
and,
would you do it
um,
again?
Yeah, I would do that again. I would do Alice in Chains at Cowboy Bar. Yes,
Only cowboy bars, though. Like,
only cowboy. I want it to be awkward. I want people
Yeah.
to look at me strange. I want maybe somebody to break a bar stool over the back of my head when I walk out.
Yes, that's your only knowledge of cowboys is what you seen in like 1990s movies or
Yeah.
whatever. But cowboys, that's good.
Exactly. Right.
All right, let's continue making Eddie uncomfortable by asking him questions to collect his data.
Go ahead.
Eddie, what was your first job and how old were you?
Let's see. I think I was 14 or 15 at a pizza place making pizza, and I rode my bike there every shift I had. And my goal was to save up to buy a car because my parents did not buy me a car. They were too cheap. So I was like, screw you guys. I'm going to do it myself. So I did. And that was one of my biggest achievements in life.
Wow.
Probably still to this day.
Buying that car, and you still drive the car.
I still to this day, I drive the same car.
Do you really? Is that the car you got? Oh, I was gonna say, wow.
No, that car was a piece of crap. In fact, the whole line of car they stopped making, it was an Isuzu Rodeo, and they had a lot of problems. You don't see them on the road anymore. But for a while there, they were pretty popular. Yeah.
Did it burn up? What happened?
They had an engine issue.
Oh, okay.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, here's another one. We're collecting Eddie's data.
Yeah.
Which compliment has struck you the most? Like, if somebody gives you a compliment, what has struck you the most?
In general, or
yeah, I mean, like,
see, this is an interesting question. I feel because men don't get a lot of compliments in life.
That's
and
true.
I've been thinking about this. So when you do get a compliment, you're kind of thrown back. Somebody said that I had beautiful eyes the other day, and that was really nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it your girlfriend?
And no, don't tell her.
You were on a Zoom with her, and you're like, I know we can't be together. And she's like, I love you. Your eyes are so beautiful. Gosh, you have long eyelashes. And she was just going into the whole thing. You're like, all right, calm down. Like, that's a little too much. No, but so like just some like now, did you feel like you should call HR when they said that? Did you feel offended, or you were happy about it?
It was HR that said that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world.
Then who do I call now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here's another one, Eddie. What decision did you make that everyone doubted you, but it worked out in your favor in the end?
My entire career. I mean, everybody always said, radio, what are you doing? That's dumb. You're going to, go have fun for a couple of years and then, go get a real job after that. And I've done it ever since. I've been like 20. I've been, I guess, professionally paid in radio and still to this day. So it worked out for me.
Can I brag on you a little bit too? Because I know there's a lot of people in the radio business. Eddie started an online radio station and has built it over the last 20 years into an empire, really, Adobe Radio. And it used to be like just a stream, a couple of guys goofing around playing punk rock music. And then you've really turned it into something that's not only profitable, you have many employees, and I'm one of them. And so I know I get to, do a bunch of stuff with you there. And honestly, one of my favorite people to work with is you in Adobe Radio.
Well,
so
thank you. I appreciate that.
And a lot of people always used to tease you about it. And, you're still doing that online thing. And it's kind of the same way I feel about Mood Killers, because somebody will ask me the other day, are you still doing that? And I'm like, yeah, we've been doing it for 3 years, and right. So I feel like maybe that's why you and I bonded so much, is because of that kind of vibe. We've always been doubted. We've always been slept on. Like nobody was expecting us to be what we are. And then we turn on a microphone and suddenly like, whoa, where did you guys come from? Oh, yeah, you're just an idiot who let us sit on the bench all this time. Good job.
Yeah, exactly.
So
well, thank you for those kind words. But I mean, people are dumb and we aren't. We're smart. They're dumb. That's the moral of the story.
I think we've collected enough data today, Eddie. You can relax now. Ask Mood Killers. Yes,
Yeah. If you have a question, let us know. We'll answer it for you. moodkillers@stayanal.com. Is that an email address that we should still be using, do you think? Or is that
Are
is
you
that joke
doubting our humor, Eddie? Do you want like what? Moodkillers@moodkillers.com? Great.
Mood
All right.
Killers? Yeah. Well, I mean, stay anal. That one. I mean, we haven't even addressed that joke in a
We
while.
have.
Maybe
We
should,
have. Well, okay. So stay
yeah.
anal. It's
Yeah.
just like when people are really uptight in a lot of ways. And
I mean,
like,
somebody signed off in an email chain with you with stay anal. It was like their best regards.
stay anal. Yeah.
Stay anal.
And I was like, that's great. And so, then I got
Stay anal.
then I got stayanal.com. And then because we
Right.
couldn't get Mood Killers on TikTok, it's at Stay Anal. So I was like, well, now why not have Mood Killers at Stay Anal as our email address? So there you go. That's all.
Yeah,
So-
there it is. I don't know. Sometimes it's worth
And
an
it's-
explanation because it's
It's so
funny.
dumb because you had just as good a one. You got Mood Killers at AOL, and that's
Oh yeah,
free.
we have that one too.
But
If you
no,
don't
I had
want
to
stay
have-
anal in your email history, you can also email moodkillers@aol.com. So,
Why wouldn't you want
I forgot
Stay
we had
Anal
that one.
in your email history? Well, what's wrong with that?
what if your kids go poking around? And
Now, why are your kids
th-
poking
they're-
around? Your kids are too nosy.
They're like,
and
you're-
it's not
why are
always,
your kids in your email?
and if people don't understand the difference between stay anal and something else, and they're trying to make it like a bad thing, then they don't get it. So
Is there anything bad about anal in general? I mean, come on.
but I'm saying like people that are anal, it's different than maybe what you
I
might
know.
think is a bad connotation, Eddie. That's all.
Well, I mean, actually, I think people who are anal are worse than the other connotation.
Oh, what?
Shut
no,
up.
Don't say that to Eddie. No.
Shut up!
Yeah.
I don't
He's-
care. Shut up!
His microphone is on. He's allowed to say whatever he wants.
Shut up.
But if we both shut up, then there's no show. So sorry, Eddie. That's very rude of them.
Oh, no. It's totally fine. Let's see if we can squeeze in a quick question here. Mood Killers, how can I make my resume stand out to potential employers?
I saw something on TikTok about people that are of a certain age get ageism. They like they past 45, they start aging you out of things. And part of the thing you can do is stop putting your objective. And it even says don't put references, which is fine. I'm okay with that. I just have everything on a website. Mine is like people who text me back, and then it has like messages of like things they've said in a text message that seem positive, like this guy said Marconi's great, whatever it is. And
And you also, as part of your email signature, you have Husky Teen, and I think that throws off a lot of employers.
that's right. Yeah. So, or
Yeah,
sometimes
that's a tip. Anybody can use that. Yeah.
sometimes it's very professional underneath my name. So I'm very professional. But I just think, do things. And when I started out in radio, a young Jimmy Kimmel was at the radio station, and I asked his advice on writing a resume. And he said, unless you're looking to have a boring job in some office somewhere, make your resume weird and write weird things. And I always have done that. And just to let you know, look what Jimmy Kimmel, he's very successful. And here I am on a radio show. So I don't know. I should have listened to him, or maybe I wasn't weird enough. But either way, I thought it was good advice. So
Yeah.
that's that.
That is good advice.
Oh, goody.
Answering your questions, Mood Killers, how can I effectively negotiate a salary increase at my current job? Well, quit your job and then go somewhere else and then come back.
That's one. I will say
Yeah.
this. A lot of people don't ask. Now, even if it's uncomfortable, if you write a well thought out email saying, hey, this is a situation, or maybe they don't need to know all your personal information, but if you are close like that, or what, you can tell them kind of your situation if you want, and then say, hey, look, I have been doing this and I'd be willing to do, and you also got to tell them what you're willing to do for that increase, because they're not just going to give it to you based on what you're still already doing. Unfortunately, maybe they should, but they won't. You got to give them some incentive. Like, hey, I could also do this, this, and this, and maybe be more involved doing this. And maybe it's one of the things they need somebody to do. And they're like, well, I could either pay somebody a full salary to do that job, or I could pay this guy like 10% more and he'll do it. And then maybe it's a perfect combination. You just don't know if you don't ask. That's all.
Yeah.
But
Definitely just ask. That some people just don't do it. And
the biggest issue is don't ask for too much and then become miserable. Because that happens too. Like if you say you're going to do X, Y, and Z extra to what you're already doing, you got to kind of assess, are you already maxed out? And if you're adding to that, like, how are you going to do it? A lot of men especially, don't really understand they're killing themselves by overdoing it, you know? And Eddie, I've been a victim of my own not understanding it before. You know, that day.
No, yeah.
I went with my friend. I had 6 bananas and 4 lattes and 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to drop dead. And I'm like, I saw that and I'm like, you know what? This is, what do they call that? A watershed moment? I don't even know what that really means, to be honest. Watershed. What's a watershed? But I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe life isn't all about just grinding every day. So if you're
it's certainly not. I would say my whole goal though is to work hard now so I don't have to later. So
good luck with
that's
that.
my whole thing.
Good luck with
that. I know.
I don't think it ever.
I'm trying.
I think that's gone now. Working hard, I think you just have to pace yourself and plan to like work forever until you drop dead. That's really it.
Right? Yeah. Yes, there it is. We had a great time today. And if you missed anything, the great thing is, thanks to technology, as soon as we're off the air on the radio, the podcast is available on all your favorite podcast platforms.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Mood Killers. Just find it. Tell your smart speaker even to play it on Apple Podcast if that's easy for you. But that works. Yeah. Or, subscribe, Spotify, Apple, literally all the platforms we're on there.
Yeah.
And, in case you missed anything today, we talked about a lot of crazy stuff as always. Marconi, what did you bring? I was talking about pickleball. I know that, but I'm not going to go down that path again because it really enraged you. And you started to throw things against the wall.
I had a Tom Brady temper tantrum. Well, I was collecting your data today, Eddie, and you love it.
Right.
When I probe into you, you enjoy it so much. And I asked you questions, and here's one we didn't get to.
Okay. Again?
What
I thought
is
we were done with this.
What is a superstition of yours?
I'm not a superstitious person. I don't have any of those dumb superstitions. I really don't. I don't believe in that. So I know it's a very exciting answer for you, but no.
No, so like if you watch a sports game, you don't believe that your socks or any kind of underwear have anything to do with the outcome of the event? Yeah. Okay. So you're a logical person.
I think everything's random.
Yeah. And it's luck and randomness.
Hard work, maybe.
What are you in the top 0.1% of in the world?
People who don't have a Stanley Cup.
That's right. Neither do I.
Yeah, I refuse.
You know what I did think of though? Because they do sell them the big thermoses like my dad used to have made by Stanley. I thought about getting one of those because you have soup in a Stanley Cup, and I like that. So I was like, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Maybe because it's almost spring, perfect time to continue the soup season.
Soup is year round. I mean, your soup just becomes gazpacho when it starts to get warm out. Why does it have to stop?
Gazpacho.
The soup never stops.
No, thank you, gazpacho.
Right. And
I
then
like it.
we answered your
Yeah.
questions too with Ask Mood Killers. That's always fun.
Yes.
So if you have a question and maybe we didn't get that on the air, let us know. Email us moodkillers@stayanal.com or find us on social media and send in that question. Here's one we didn't get to. Mood Killers, what are some strategies for dealing with a difficult boss or coworker?
Well, Eddie would know about difficult coworkers because he works with me every day.
Oh my gosh.
But
But the boss one is I think there's two different questions here because the boss one is a different scenario than the coworker one. Don't you agree?
yeah, bosses are. It's weird because a lot of times, especially if you want a career, if it's just a job, that's one thing. You might want to just get another job if the boss that's difficult is causing you agita. But in a career, sometimes you've got to deal with bosses that are not great, and Eddie and I have both had them, and
I put up with not only one but two bad bosses, and one worked above the other one at one point, and these were the worst. So it's not like you could go above the guy's head and be like, "Oh, this guy's an idiot," you know. It's like, but you just kind of suck it up. If it's a career that you really believe in, sometimes what you want to do is just try to outlast. And I ended up outlasting both of those people.
I feel
So-
like no matter what, karma
Yeah.
eventually catches up with everyone.
It does.
And-
It does.
and,
Everybody I know that was a jerk
Yeah.
in the workplace, they all ended up either getting fired or you know, something happened where they
Dying
were
in a
moved from
fiery
their
crash,
position.
not made by you. Not you didn't
Not
cut
made
their
by
brake
me.
liner.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, you got what you wanted, and they got what they deserved. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Well, if you missed any of that today, don't forget the podcast is available. Go get it. Moodkillersradio.com.
Heyo. Odor eliminating cat litter.